The Denver Charter gives us access to information. We must have the tools available to ensure we receive the information we need.
The City and County of Denver combined is a large and complex organization. Narrowing our audits down using a deliberative and focused risk assessment process is essential.
The more information we have at the start of an audit, the better we can weigh the city's risks and apply our limited resources to best serve the people of Denver.
Our audit process starts long before we actually put a specific audit on the calendar.
Your team has done a great job over the last year.
We are always taking in information from the public and from city leaders about what's most important to them. After that, we put the information we receive in our risk tracker for assessment. My team of experts takes a look at the risks and possible impact to the city, and I work with my team to develop our annual audit plan. This audit plan is published every year in October and gives most city agencies notice of whether they will possibly be on the audit schedule in the upcoming calendar year. Then at the start of every audit, we issue a letter to the auditee. We also meet with the auditee and ask them, are there any records you think we shouldn't have access to? Ideally, we are able to settle the matter and get access to all the records needed to conduct the audit at the very beginning.
Denver's charter gives the auditor access to all the information necessary to perform the audit function.
However, sometimes our access is challenged by other agencies. We have had particular trouble when working with external or independent agencies and organizations. When third parties like the Westin Hotel, the Denver Art Museum, or the Denver County Courts try to block our access late in the audit process, it can lead to significant delays at a high cost to the taxpayers. We should have access to the information in accordance with Denver's charter, and the auditor should also have the ability to enforce this access to information if needed.
When beginning our audits, our teams use a risk assessment process in alignment with auditing standards to consider many possible audit risks for inclusion in the audit.
We try to take in as much information as possible to allow us to examine where the highest risk might be and where our limited resources will have the most impact on behalf of the people of Denver. We start our audits broad and then narrow our focus as we develop the scope of the audit. In this way, we hope to see the big picture and pinpoint where our attention is needed most.
Once we have the scope of an audit, we need comprehensive access to data, records, and information in order to adhere to generally accepted government audit standards.
We must be able to follow records, cases, and revenue from start to finish to determine if processes are working as they should be. This thorough process is reassurance to the people of Denver that they have someone working on their behalf to look at the details and track down areas of improvement.
As part of this process, our office securely handles and protects sensitive and confidential information on a regular basis.
We're looking out for the public by taking a close but confidential look at information that agencies can't release to the public for examination. Once an audit is completed, we will share the results of our audit while maintaining confidentiality as appropriate. Denver's auditor works on behalf of the people of Denver to analyze what's working and what's not. It's essential that we have complete access to records because we can take a confidential look at information and reassure the people of Denver that someone is examining the city agencies on their behalf. Well, that's it for this episode of Ask the Auditor. If you have a question, submit it to auditor@denvergov.org, and maybe your question will be the next question we answer on the next episode of Ask the Auditor.